So now we're going to look at going the opposite direction from a fraction to a decimal. And you can use your calculator for this. So easiest way to do it would be to divide the top number by the bottom number. Because remember, a fraction is kind of like a divide. If you see 2/3, that's kind of the exact same thing as saying 2 divided by 3. And you can see that that divide sign is kind of like the fraction. Something on top, a line, and then something on bottom. That's what it means. So it's always top divided by bottom. So in this case, I would put 5 divided by 6 into my calculator and see what I get. And when I'm asking you not to round, that means we need to be specific about reoccurring decimals. So if you put 3 divided by 6 in your calculator, you should see 0.833, and it keeps going, 33333333. So remember, with reoccurring numbers, you can indicate that the 3 just goes on forever by putting a dot above the 3. So that's 8.33 with a dot above the 3 means the 3 just continues on. Looking at the next example, 3 divided by 8 is equal to 0.375. And there I do not need to round or use a reoccurring because it's just exactly that. And that is 375 thousandths, if we want to talk about it as place values. The next one, 2 divided by 3, like I said. And again, making sure that you do not round. So my exact answer for this is 0.666. And you might want to round it to 7, but you need to be precise to say that it actually never stops. It's just 66666 forever. So 0.66, you could probably just write it like that with the reoccurring. And as another example here, 2 divided by 11. You enter that one into your calculator. Here you might see something that looks like this. And it keeps going, 0.18181818, and that's reoccurring, but it's not just one number, it's 2 numbers that are reoccurring. So one way to indicate that is to put a line over everything that's reoccurring, so that's the 18, just keeps repeating. Or another way to write that is 0.1818 and put a dot where it starts and a dot where it finishes. In that case, they're right next to each other. But if it was like 3 digits that were repeating, you could put a dot where it starts and a dot where it finishes reoccurring. Or just draw a line over the top of everything that reoccurs. So if you are totally afraid of algebra or doing long division by hand, stick with your calculator for this, but bonus points for those of you guys who show you're working for doing the long division by hand. I know some of you are doing that regularly. So as an example here, I would write this one out as 8 into 3. Well, I know 8 does not go into 3 at all, so I'd say 0 times. Put my decimal at the end, put my decimal at the top. And in this case, I get 0. Fill in my place with the 0. So I get 30. So 8 goes into 30. In this case, 3 times. 8 times 3 is 24. Probably should have written this somewhere else so I can show it all. Let's see if we can move it. There we go. So 8 times 3 is 24, and that leaves us with 6. Drop down another 0. 8 goes into 67 times, and 8 times 7 is 56. My difference there is 4. Drop down another 0. 8 goes into 40 5 times exactly. And just to double check that, 5 times 8 is 40, with a remainder of 0. So there we get to the same answer by hand, 0.375. So again, bonus points for those of you guys who are doing that division by hand.